Welcome back to our series, The Pattern You Keep Repeating. Today, we are tackling a really big one, that feeling that you're just lazy. When you know exactly what you should be doing, but you just can't seem to make yourself do it? Well, if that sounds familiar, you are in the right place. Because we're going to challenge that entire idea and show you why you're not lazy at all, you're just stuck in a loop.
So let's just start with the most important idea of this whole explainer. Just look at this slide and let it really sink in for a second. You are not lazy. In fact, what if I told you that the very act of calling yourself lazy, that belief, is a huge part of what's keeping you stuck?
Yeah, because what's really going on here is something so much deeper than just, some kind of character flaw. It's actually a powerful mechanism, a pattern that most of us don't even realize we're trapped in. So let's dive in and really understand what's happening under the surface.
Think about this. You sit down, you're ready to get to work on some important project, and you tell yourself, okay, I'll just check my phone for a quick minute. And then somehow that minute turns into an hour. You feel that frustration, right? That guilt building up, but you just keep scrolling. See, if you were actually lazy, you wouldn't care. That tension you feel, that is the clue that something else is going on.
So here's the crucial point. What you're experiencing is not a failure of willpower, it's not a lack of ambition or discipline. No, it's a predictable, repeatable, and, believe it or not, a surprisingly logical pattern. It's a loop. And to figure out how to break this cycle, we first have to understand how it's built. And the thing is, every single habit you have, the good ones and the bad ones, is built on the exact same simple three-part structure. It's called the habit loop. It starts with a cue. That's the trigger. That leads to a behavior, which is the action you take. And then finally, you get a reward, which is the benefit your brain gets from that action. Cue, behavior, reward. That's it. Simple, right? To make this even clearer, think of it like a race. The cue is the starting gun. The behavior is you running the race, and the reward is crossing that finish line. It's that feeling that makes your brain go, hey, that was good, let's do that again. Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. This slide maps that loop directly onto procrastination. And this is the part you have to get. The cue, the trigger, it isn't the task itself. It's the feeling that the task brings up. Stress, overwhelm, maybe just plain old boredom or uncertainty. So the behavior becomes anything you do to avoid that feeling. Checking your phone, tidying up your desk, whatever. And the reward? That sweet, quick hit of temporary relief. Your brain learns that avoiding the task makes the bad feeling go away, and just like that, the loop is born.
This is exactly where almost all of us get it wrong. We see the behavior, the procrastination, and we try to just attack it head-on with pure willpower. We tell ourselves, I just need to be more disciplined. But that almost never works in the long run. And this slide lays out exactly why. Trying to fix the behavior is like treating a symptom, but interrupting the loop, well, that means you start asking a much better question. Instead of asking, how do I stop scrolling, you ask, what discomfort am I trying to escape from right now? See the difference? That's going after the root cause.
Think about it. Have you ever done that thing where you put your phone in another room so you can focus, only to find yourself 5 minutes later organizing your bookshelf or making a snack? The avoidance behavior changed, right? But the loop is still running. The phone was never the real problem. The real problem was the discomfort you were trying to get away from.
So if willpower isn't the answer, what is? Well, here's the good news. You don't break the loop with force, you break it with awareness and a little bit of strategy. Here's a super simple 3-step framework you can literally start using today.
It all boils down to these 3 simple steps. First, when you feel that urge to procrastinate, don't fight it. Just pause and identify the cue. Ask yourself, what am I feeling? Second, you shrink the task. Forget about the whole giant project. What is the absolute smallest, tiniest first step you can take? And third, you redirect the reward. You don't get rid of it. You just give your brain that hit of relief in a more productive way, like by checking off that tiny first step.
And out of all of those, this first question is by far the most powerful. What am I feeling right now? Is it fear? Is it that you're feeling overwhelmed because you don't even know where to begin? Just the simple act of putting a name to that emotion starts to take away its power. It shifts you from being a passenger to being the driver.
Now here's why this matters so much more than just getting a few more things done. These little loops aren't just messing with your to-do list. They are actively shaping who you believe you are. They're shaping your identity.
Think of it this way.
Every single time you run that procrastination loop, you're casting a vote for being a person who doesn't finish things. You're reinforcing that story in your own mind. But the reverse is also true. Every single time you interrupt that loop, even with one tiny little action, you cast a vote for a new identity. You are literally proving to yourself that the pattern can be broken.
So this brings us to what might be the biggest, most important perspective shift in this whole explainer. For our whole lives, we've been told that the solution to our problems is just to find more motivation, right?
But that's not it. You don't need more motivation. You need a better relationship with discomfort. See, the goal isn't to create a life where you never feel stressed or uncertain or bored. The goal is to learn how to sit with that discomfort for just a moment, just long enough to make a different choice. And honestly, that is a superpower. So let's bring it all home. You are not lazy. You're just caught in a loop that your brain created to try and protect you from uncomfortable feelings. But once you can see the cue, the behavior, and the reward, you gain the power to dismantle it, one tiny action at a time. So I'll leave you with this final question. What is one small, almost ridiculously small step you can take to interrupt a pattern in your own life right now, today?